Hey everybody, welcome back to Chess. First, I want to apologize to Nicholas. I'm sorry, Nicholas. I used getting into a game with you as an opportunity to make sure my screen region looked right, okay? I aborted the game for that reason. Lord of the Kings 69. So apologies, Nicholas, apologies. I thought we played pretty well in our last... Understood. We can't do what I want to do here, or we would get forked immediately by that. So fair enough. Holy cow. By the way, my opponent has such insane control of the center right now. I'm flabbergasted. Next step. Honestly, I want to take some control here. You want to swap queens? Let's swap queens, brother. You got to defend the fork. You got to do something to defend against the fork. Wow, that was not what I expected. I'm going to set up like some kind of x-ray. I don't know how it's going to work. I would probably just start by taking this anyway, even though this is a check that allows us to get the rook. Hold on, I'm feeling pogged. It's certainly a strange game. We need to get our knight out of there. If they took my bishop, I'd be over the moon. I'd be thrilled. I'd like to block you. I also want to cover this space. I don't really see a... Well, you know what? Actually, I see a great reason to put you in check like this. Because I don't want you to be able to go back to that square, so I want to be able to move my bishop. So you got to come all the way out here, and then things get a little crazy, because I can go like... I can hit you with this, then you play that. How do I get... Then I got to attack this pawn so that this rook can get here. Okay. Right? Just like that. We get ready to attack this pawn. I mean, this is a wild situation. I think they just mated themselves. I think this is mate. That's one of the most insane mates I've ever seen. I don't know how to describe it because this makes it sound like I know what I'm doing much more than I do. But sometimes you just... there's a streamer I watch who's a grandmaster sometimes when I get some free time called Ben Feingold. Sometimes he'll be doing a puzzle and he just looks at it and goes, I can't see it, but this feels like checkmate, like in a couple of moves. That's how I felt when I saw what I had to do with my bishop to put them in check, their response, and then what I had to attack in order to be able to get in there. Now, it wasn't mate right away, by the way. Like, if they hadn't have done this move, I'm pretty sure that we still had mate. So, like, that's not mate. That's just we're up a little. Actually, they don't like my position that much. So they make that move. I make this move. What I was thinking is, like, let's say they do this. Let's just follow this. Then I reply. This is a reasonable move where they want to, like, threaten my bishop to get it out of there. Of course, this is better because it also takes away the piece that would allow me to move my rook up here later. But, okay, so I go check. They're forced to respond. All they can do is this. And then I was like, yeah, king h5 is forced. Then I was like, this? Is that the best move there? I was trying to find it in my head. I couldn't quite get there. They like rook g5, actually. Okay, rook g5, check. Which then forces this move. And then we're trying to find the mate. And the mate is not forcible. If you could do king over, bishop up here, that's mate. Otherwise, if they get baited in, like you move your king up, they get baited into taking this pawn. Well, that's not mate because they would just take your rook. Anyway, I enjoyed that game. I had a good time playing that one. I appreciate that they were ready to tango. Like they didn't want... They exchanged queens as soon as the opportunity presented itself. Guess what? I'm in the perk defense now. And business is booming. So I'm just giving up a pawn on that one because I don't want to exchange queens, quite frankly. And then have my king not be able to castle. I feel like that's too much of a disadvantage for right now. Let's inhibit this knight. They can't push for the fork. We got way too much coverage on it. but that could change. I wouldn't mind, honestly, if they played this. We get a lot more protection on this pawn. I'm going to castle first. Then I've got ideas. They've also castled. Maybe my ideas aren't worth anything. I want this knight gone. If you want to swap queens, that's your prerogative, okay? I needed to move out of the fork now because the pin is resolved, I think. Maybe not. Maybe I didn't have to move, but I want this knight gone so I can finally get my pawn back. And I don't want to exchange queens, honestly. I want the knight gone. Are you going to take with the pawn so that you don't lose this pawn? Here's all I'm saying about that is that I think it's a little greedy. I was waiting for the bishop take and then the fork, which isn't even, it doesn't even win material. It just wins you a bishop back. Okay, you gotta go. If you do this, we fork you. Okay, we got there anyway. I'm very concerned about my opponent's pawn structure. We should take, I think. Like, their pawn structure is insanely good. I wish I could take that, but I can't. But some of those pawns are a little weak. What would I do? It's a great question. I'm spending too much time. We have kind of a useless knight right now. That stinks. Well, let's do something. Let's get our rook ready to attack here. And then I'm like, knight here, here. We got to do something with it. You know, we probably should have played that. No, don't play that. Because then they would just take with the bishop. Okay, I'm spending too much time. Let's get some coverage here. This is also bad. We can always do this, but it's not a permanent solution. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I think our opponent's like kind of good. So here's what I'm thinking now. Please play this. Even though it looks horrendous. Then I'm like, take this pawn. No. Well, maybe. It would be fun. They could win a pawn off the exchange. Then there's a part of me that thinks, just fall back. We got a lot of coverage here. You know what? This is probably wrong. Let's do it anyway. Because it's humorous. If I were them, my snap move would be this. Then I take their queen, they take my queen. I take the pawn. I guess maybe I win a pawn in the exchange. It's a fun move. This might not be the best move. I feel like okay, they did it differently. We need to get out. We can't go deeper in. We'll get trapped, I think. So we're going to come out threading this. I think we did better than expected off of that. Like, we're up by a pawn. Admittedly, our opponent has the bishop and I have a knight, which is what I'm trying to neutralize here. Also, admittedly, I haven't exactly been a superstar in the endgame. It's just in general, right? I can't take that. Wish I could. You know what? Let's build myself a way out of here. This also blocks, yeah. I don't know what I'm going to... It's like dunk probably next. Their king, I'm not worried about too much because they can't move him. Like, he can't move over this line. I'm not worried about... anything they've got here, I'm not worried about. But is this good? I'm moving my king. We're on 30 seconds. We got to be a little smarter. This is covered, which I like. But we got to find a way out. Like, we're up in material, but it's complicated. I think it looks like... Would they just take here? Maybe they would. Maybe I would be okay with that. Honestly, you just beat... I made a bad move. You beat me. Congrats. I know it sounds sarcastic, but look, we had one blunder, and it was the last move. I just didn't think about what that bishop could cover. I was only thinking about myself, man. Sad but true. I don't like my knight being here. This is a spooky situation. Anybody else feel like that's a spooky situation? What is this? What is this, Reggie? Okay, they're up a knight. I'm up. Honestly, I like this. It keeps coverage on this. If you want to take this, I know we could have gone, but am I crazy to not hate this either? Like now, I look at this and I say, I think we've really weaseled our way into a better position because what is this guy doing? He's not doing anything. I could even push. I want to screw up your pawn structure. I want to make our endgame easier. I want to force you back here where you can't do anything. Just thinking. I think I want to control... Oh, you could just come here. Yeah, but then I'll just fall back anyway. Maybe whatever. We're dancing. We're just doing a little dance right now. I don't know where you think you're going. I'm going here now, though. Uh-oh. It's one of those times. I don't like this because then they take my rook for free. I just didn't even think about it. Okay, they still do it. And now they just take my rook anyway. Fair enough. Now I threaten this boy right here, I guess. This is not good. Got myself into a bit of a mess here. What are we down by? We're down by 2. It's kind of surprising. Would have thought it would have been worse. Time's okay. I mean, I don't think this is resignable. I don't think it's good, but I don't think it's resignable. I mean, it's very resignable, but in 3 minutes, we might as well just play it out. Maybe that's a better way to think about it. I'm not trying to set up anything devastating. I'm almost like tuck. Okay, I actually think that this maybe gives us the space to do the move is not the right way to describe it, but I'm gonna. It's very risk oriented here. Oh crap! I fell for it again. I fell for the same thing. I can't even do this. Oh man. No wait. What am I talking about? You don't have to move the bishop. Just do this. Wasting my time. You're losing me my jury. This is scary. I guess I would go here. This is pretty bad, just in general. Just a pretty bad situation overall. We have a check. I know. I'm keeping it in my back pocket. I don't know, to scare them and maybe take a little bit of time off their clock. That's all it gives me, I think. Here's the thing, I'd rather you didn't. This is basically a scumbag move. I threaten their queen and I threaten their rook. But if they take my rook, yes, they just get a free rook. Or sorry, a free bishop. So I would say not a smart move, but kind of a funny move maybe. A move that maybe in a low elo tournament could get us out of a jam if someone wasn't paying attention. Unfortunately, they were paying attention. Now, we're behind a lot of material, but we're not behind on time. And that's something. You got yourself a little bit out of a jam, you piece. Or did you? You did. You did. Time? We're going to have to get lucky on timing, I think. Like, this is our move. We threaten the rook with a discovered check. Short of that, which they got out of because they're a god, we'll move our knight back and try to spam them with checks to win like a scumbag. to win by being a total piece of crap. Actually, there is like this. They move over. This. They move over. This. Can we do that? Hold on. Hold on. There's something here. Saved a little saved. We're equal on material. They have 2 seconds left. Swap queens. That wasn't really a scumbag move, honestly. We actually won on merit, believe it or not. Oh, I didn't mean to rematch. I don't like the rematch. It's scary. They got a chip on their shoulder. They ran out of time, and then they made some blunders. It happens. It happens to the best of us. It also happens to me, not the best of us. I feel like this position is okay. Is that meta? Is that what you play there? I don't know. We've had some good games in this recording session. I really don't want to have to play that. Okay. Okay. Then you go here. I see. So I take with the queen. You go here. I go like here or something. It becomes a problem. But we have to defend this pawn after you go there. We have to defend this, otherwise you get a free bishop probably. So now we got to get you out of there. I don't know where you're going. You're going here. I would trade, honestly. Maybe. I don't know. I have to think about it. This guy's got to go though. He's too strong. He's too outposted. Hi Tomo. You need to leave the room, buddy? This feels like this is like the sequence in the position that the game hangs on right now. So I understand taking a long time. Okay, they put me in check. I take with the queen. They probably still... Oh, they move the knight over here instead. If they follow up with this, I just take. They don't follow up with that. This is the weak pawn. Honestly, here's what I'm thinking. If they want to come in and take this diagonal, we press the issue. Well, we can't take. So let's press the issue right away. If we take, I think I would... Oh, I can't take anyway. I don't know why I thought that was like such a genius move. It's actually a horrendous move. I have to take here. Because if I take here, I lose my queen. But that knight was doing double duty there. Well, that's not great. Officially idiot hours. Okay, now you can take. Uh-oh, we're in a lot of trouble. We're being outplayed by Magnus Carlsen. Yeah, that's a great move. I mean, honestly, I think this is resignable. Not to be a coward, but like we were down 5 on position. I think, and there's different... This is my 1400 ELO analysis. There's different flavors of being down by 5. This... Okay. That's a new one. This flavor of being down by 5 felt like being down by 25. I would love to continue this exchange. And honestly, if you'd like to keep it going even further, you just let me know. Hi, Tomo. They don't. They've moved out of the way. They want you want to attack this? Honestly, I feel stronger being here, but then you're going to move your bishop out. Well, I'm going to go here then. And then I'm going to get ready to move my bishop out. We also are attacking this pawn. But I think we can't just take. Yeah, well, that's for one reason. For that reason, I should say. They can't push. We block it anyway. Bishop comes out next. Come on. Come on. Okay, not unexpected. Cover the knight. And then I'm like, I don't know what we do next. Honestly, I feel like this is kind of sick. Again, just try to take more material off the board. Yeah, they got great control of this over here, but like, so what? Hi, Tomo. I'm sorry, buddy. I should have left or let you leave earlier, but I didn't. What are you gonna do with this guy? I can't take anyway. It's the same situation. I'm like, I'm threatening something that I have no no ability to follow through on. But they bought it, thankfully. I almost just took you and thought I was a genius. Wouldn't have been a very smart play. Basically, I'm trying to swap them down into the end game. I'm being that jerk. This kind of accomplishes a similar thing. The most logical, friction-free outcome here, why don't you just take? Now I've swapped them a little bit again. Probably do something like that if I had to guess. I would say, let's start here, threaten this, and then force the issue with the queen exchange again. If we're a bishop up going into the endgame, I'm feeling good. Okay, Tomo. In like a minute or so, we're in a great spot here. In this situation, I may be wrong, but I feel like taking the free pawn's kind of the way to go. I was wrong. I was quite wrong. We should have forced the queen exchange, I think. I still think we're in a good position. I hope. We could even queenside castle. And I know we have a free pawn. I don't think there's any rush, man. First, hear me out with this one. No, because then they're going to do this, and I'm going to be pinched over here. Start me here. Then we can do this if we have to. Protect. Okay, now we can't, but check this out. Watch this. Okay, threaten the mate in 1. Move out of the way. Now we got mate in 1. We baited like the most obvious defense. It might have been the only one that worked. And then we followed up with, you know, sack your queen or lose the game. It's not. I don't actually think it is that bad for them, though. Well, it is 11. It's 11 points. But I think, like, what if, take me out of this, what if they followed up with this? Can I see the analysis? Take me to game review. How would I, this is just a good intellectual exercise. And let me let Tomo out here. Here you go, buddy. Oh, sorry. So we made some bad mistakes. Like, I think I didn't think that was our blunder, honestly. Your piece is undefended. So this move loses material? Really? Really? What material? Ah, that material. The same one I lose every time. And also lost in this game. Okay. So they loved that move. No kidding. Take me to here. Because they did that. They're like, what? Then I made a good move. They made a good move. They're like, this is a question mark move. There is a better move, but it's a tricky one. Ah, interesting. But let's just look at this for a second. They played this, which was questionable. I played this, which was they like. What if they followed with this? The reason I don't mind that is because we can't take, they'll take. I mean, I guess no, that would be horrible. So we could take, so probably this is why it's not so good. We take their queen. They take my queen. I move bishop to here, and then I have a beautiful skewer attack. Let me see if that's correct. So let's take it back to game review. They love that move. If they do this, what's the line? Best line for black. Queen takes f2 check. Ah! We win a rook even more easily. Check, king takes, rook takes queen. Yeah, that's a great position for sure. All right. But they don't like this one so much. Rook takes h6. Rook takes b2. Bishop to a3. They think that's only a -6. I thought that move was incredible in my mind. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. I think we've been playing some fun chess lately. And I'll see you next time. See ya.